What's up with your podcast? We are back again with your host, Brandon. Been a minute, but we're back in the studio. Before we get started, we'd just like to remind you guys our platforms. We are on Spotify and on YouTube, and also we on Apple Podcasts. So tune in. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment everything that we share. Our content that we have brings great value and wholesome content that either you and your family can actually tune in, and also, you yourself can be a better person here or there. So, we'd like to have you tune in. Anyways, without further ado, guys, let's welcome our special guest with us here today.
Let's go. Oh my God.
Good friend, good brother of ours here. Isaac joining with us, aka from Adapt to the Situation. We're grateful for him being here with us, bro. What's up, brother?
Thank you, most. What's up, Boos? How you been?
Good, bro. It's good to have you here on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Bro, let's get started. Go ahead, give us an introduction. Give us your name, age, where you're from, and your favorite food, and what you've been up to lately.
Ooh. Yo, what's up, you beautiful people? My name's Isaac Faitau. 22 years young.
Let's go.
Samoa descent. My father's from a small place in Savai'i, Satawa, and my mother's from Fuskouka in Upolu. Born and raised in South Auckland, 276, 275 to be exact. And favorite food? Bro, Macca's, bro.
Ooh, hey? Favorite meal from Macca's, bro?
Macca's, my older bro, triple cheeseburger, large, steam the buns, no pickles, no mustard. Add Big Mac sauce and an extra patios. Yeah, with a 10-pack chicken McNuggets, sweet and sour sauce on that.
Guys, ordering the whole menu. Let's go.
That's it. Yo, and yeah, bro, been up to just trying to stay busy, bro. I'm trying to push the brand.
Love it, bro.
But, yeah, man. What have you been up to?
Bro, just been chilling, just been able to, been busy at work, school, and everything, and obviously, with the podcast. So, yeah, it's been good, bro. It's been good. Just, bro, talk to us about your podcast, or you talk to us about your page, your brand right now,
Yeah.
Just so to give us a lot of people what it stands for, because, just go ahead, bro.
Yeah, bro. So, my brand is ATTS. It's an acronym for Adapt to the Situation. Bro, the main, it's more of a movement than a brand, bro. The main sort of push behind it is to give hope to our young youth. I started this brand, bro, in work back when I was working. I used to wonder why a lot of people weren't using their initiative. There is times where things could be done when they weren't done. So that's when I came into, bro, why aren't people, adapting to this particular situation? And bro, that's where it really started. It's pretty much a cycle, bro. It's just allowing me to come in, do what I can do, and hope to inspire someone. That's the main reason of the cycle for around the ATTS. As you can see, it represents a cycle of just life, bro. If I can inspire you, then you can inspire someone else, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. Is mainly the goal is to sort of run a course in high schools, bro, where I can give hope to younger kids, because at work I was dealing with a lot of young people, and a lot of them thought that the warehousing sort of industry was it for them. School was too much, so it's just jumping in the gap and giving them different avenues and just giving them experience, bro. Because a lot of young kids, like poly kids especially, they think that's it. Well, if they can't excel in school, then it's the warehouse industry. So it's trying to come in there and give them sort of like a,
just be that mentor.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Yeah. Just fill in the gap and let them know, like, your life's not just finishing here, bro. There's much more to it, bro. So that's it, bro.
Bro, I love what you talked about, especially about inspiring other youth, and because, bro, that's a big issue, Youth, young, coming out of high school, and not really focused on their goals and what they want to achieve in life.
That's it.
And they just limit themselves to sometimes they just think, oh, bro, this is me. Like, I'm meant to be here for the rest of my life.
That's it, bro.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. But in a way, it's okay as well. I always let them know, bro, it's good to be busy rather than staying home, and just sitting in your room. But I always let them know, but this is not your life, bro. This is just a phase in your life where you're trying to find something else. So it's good to also stay busy, but remember that it's not the finish line here. It's just a building step to keep you busy. But yeah, bro, that's it.
What would be, like, I guess, the biggest advice that you give to the youth that do come in? You know, like apart from, you know, like this is not it for you, but like what are some things that you've been seeing, I guess, in our youth that you believe that need to adapt to the situation, you know?
A lot of it, bro, is experiencing new things, bro. Just trying a lot of new things. I think with a lot of, especially for me, bro, I really want to, like now that I'm a bit older and a bit mature, keyword mature. Now that I'm a bit older, I sort of really want to go into a place of work where it's like enjoyable. Like I want to wake up in the morning and be like, bro, I love this.
I want to go work.
Yeah, that's it. So for the younger youth, bro, especially for the younger boys, it's trying new things, bro. Like I would say, like now that I think about it, bro, like, you know, when a lot of young kids used to do the mail runs, bro, I wish I did that. Even like working at McDonald's, bro, there's a lot of little life skills that you learn within those industries that will definitely make you a better person than what you'd actually think about it. So it's definitely just telling them just to experience new things, bro, because you only know until you try it.
Or 100%. And that's what life is about, eh? It's like
100.
Hey, life is about experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, sometimes we can be afraid to experience the world.
That's it.
And that's what happens is like coming out of high school, you know, like not knowing what to do with your life and not knowing your priorities or what goals you want to achieve.
Yeah.
That kind of like sets you up to be in a box.
That's
I feel
it,
like sometimes that they don't want to get out of sometimes, you know.
And for a lot of my friends, bro, the first priority is study. And for some people, bro, that's what they want to do. But I think for maybe 60% of it, a lot of people think that that's the route, and they do, let's say, 3 to 4 years, the loan starts growing in, and you never see them in their industry anymore, you know? Yeah. So it's also about just taking time, reflect, like how I said before, staying busy. You don't always have to rush into that study side, but just as long as you're staying busy, the mind's always thinking, bro, and always adapting to the situation.
100%, bro. One thing I love about the brand name is like adapting to situation, bro, because I feel like some of us need just to understand that it's not just like it's not just the here and now, the moment, you know.
That's it.
You gotta think about what's going on around you, and entailing like the future as well.
Nah, yeah, that's right, bro. Because like a lot of things when you do adapt to the situation, it does create your future as well, bro. Like the things that I would do now with this brand, who knows how far I can go. So even within in any sort of things you do in your life, you know, if you plant the seed now,
bro,
and see it grow, you know. But the thing is, plant the seed, so. And
it's not just the big things too; it's the small things, bro. It's the small things that will do it, eh?
That's it. If anything, it is the small things, bro.
Yeah, because one thing that I liked, I don't know if you guys actually see it on Isaac's page and stuff like that. Make sure you go like and subscribe to bro. But like he sets out these videos. And these videos adapting to the situation. One thing that I really loved, if you guys can go watch it, is about just setting up, planning your day, and even with the gas prices, like we're complaining on gas prices, right? But planning your day towards like what you're gonna do to save gas. Like if you're there, like, you know, like I want to knock out a couple things that you need to get done. That's it. You know.
That segment was the breakdown, bro, and the specific one you're talking about is the one run. I think for a prime example, bro, is like just the little things, bro. Like what I did one day, or especially in that video, bro. I'm not too sure if I filmed it there, but I parked up at the warehouse and I grabbed a few things from the warehouse, but I needed something from Torpedo, which was if a Mannix there across the road.
Yeah.
So instead of saving gas, bro, I just took a lazy walk across the road and got what I needed to come back. And that's just not even a K or so, but it saves time, bro, and especially with the petrol prices, bro. It's crazy shit.
100, bro.
The little things you save up, bro.
Especially with the prices right now, everyone should actually go walk, you know.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, bro. But that's so mean though, because I feel like that's just like good knowledge and good drive that this generation and actually, like, you know, young people and people in high school that are coming up, you know, like they need to understand some of the things that, you know, that weren't really taught at this time when we were young, even before us, you know, like at this time now.
Yeah, especially in schools, bro. There's a lot of things you don't get taught that you do really need in life, eh? So that's what I mean about running this program, is to come in and teach them sort of like life skills, bro. Because like obviously when I was in school, a lot of people say once you get onto the big wide road, bro, it's scary. But when you actually touch it, it's like, damn, it's actually true. So it's just filling in the gap and just being that mentor. Because a lot of when I was young, I didn't obviously I lost my father at a young age, so it was real sort of hard to find father figures. But I'm grateful enough that I went to a great school. Shout out to PAS Pacific Advance secondary school, and they had a lot of men that were great father figures to me, and very blessed and grateful for that, especially to this day. So I just want to give back to what they did for me, bro. And I know there's a lot of especially young boys that are fatherless. So it's also just giving like hope, bro. It's just it's not it, bro. Because if you think about it, man, the experiences that I've been through, I could have been a statistic to this crazy world, but bro, because of the men that have helped me and supported me, I'm still here, bro. So yeah,
it's like realizing that there are people around you to support no matter what.
Yeah, especially if you seek it, bro. There's always someone, man.
I feel like. I just going off that, bro. I love what you're saying, you know. A lot of us actually have that same situation, you know, that like, because there's a lot of people out there in Auckland, South Auckland, or New Zealand, you know, wherever they may be in the world, that actually do kind of, you know, not have those father figures or not have that support, you know what I mean? And like, for you to be the example, you know, to go and like say, even though, you know, that was a part of my life, I'm still at the point I'm right now doing my best to achieve my goals.
Yep.
I guess what would be like advice or big help you think, or the biggest struggle you think those people who are going through right now with the same situation, you know, that like they're trying to make that next step, trying to make that next leap, that what you're doing right now, that they're, I guess, too shy or maybe afraid, or, you know?
Yeah, that was definitely for me, bro. It was like too shy. But it's not really, in a way, it's not really something that the person could do. It's those that are around him. But real men will seek out for young boys like me that need it. And it's not that I went out there and said, bro, can you help me? It was them coming to me. And then you start to grow this confidence to where I can go around to men and be like, bro, can you help me in this sort of area? So once someone gives me that confidence, bro, then I start to go out and be like, hey, can I, you know what I mean? So it's, in a way, it's not really, not that I can think of, bro. It's been a long time, but yeah, I think it's just men realizing, bro, like, you know, a lot of young, especially with social media, bro, it's crazy.
100%, bro.
A lot of our young youth sort of, they're on their phones 24 hours.
Just the comparison too,
that's
bro.
It, bro.
Comparing them themselves, and that's like a big downfall, you know?
100. Yeah, bro, like you sort of, it's good to have a icon, or what do you call it, a role model, but I think a lot of the young people push too much to it, like, oh, I need his shoes, I need his hat, you know? And when you don't, like, bro, I can say that I've been through that phase where, you know, I want this pair of TNs.
Yeah, 100%.
But then what am I having for lunch tomorrow? You know, am I eating the TNs? So it's sort of just being in there, and for men just to say, like, you know, just teaching them just the little thing, bro. So yeah, that's it.
Love it, bro. Love it. I think I'll especially with going off that, bro, and with your brand and everything, a lot of things that, you know, that I know I've personally been watching, you know, is like the just the way you're, you know, pro for mental health, you know, stuff like that, and just that big support, especially in Aotearoa in New Zealand, you know, like just talk to us about like your thoughts on that, you know.
Yeah, obviously the first ever giveaway I did was based around that. I'm not sort of too familiar with it, bro, but mental health, bro, is definitely important. I did November last year.
Yeah.
I ran 100 Ks.
Yes, sir. Yes, you did.
Yeah, fundraised just under like $2,000, thanks to everyone that supported. But yeah, bro, especially for men, I think a lot of us put on a mask day to day, and I still do this to this day. And bro, it's just, I don't know, like, I think it's because we come from, especially for our poly people, we come from a hard sort of raised, sort of love, so you don't really get to speak about it.
Love-y.
Yeah, but with the generation we live in now, bro, it's a lot different to those days, so it's important that we let the men know, especially that it's okay to be vulnerable, eh?
And then you have that weird time, not weird, but like now the older generation kind of has to like try to adapt to the situation.
That's it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a bit of difficult one there because the older fellas sort of are trying to come down now because now they got kids and especially like social media. So it's a bit of a tough one.
Totally different world now than the way we live. So like they have to adjust like how to raise their kid than how we were raised, you know?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it'll always be a tough one, bro, because the world changes, bro, every day. But nah, men's health is always definitely behind my brand, especially for the young kids, bro. Like that's sort of the purpose of it, is because I felt like I've been through some dark times, bro, and it's just all about experience it and letting them know, bro. Like if you ever do go in it, it's okay, bro. There's always the light at the end of the tunnel, eh?
And that's the thing that I think our young people need to realize is about that light that is coming. Because some of them I think some of them sometimes are kind of stuck in the tunnel. Yeah. And they'd rather stay there because they, can't see. Yeah. And not wanting to keep going until there's light. You know what I mean? That's
it, bro. And everyone goes through that phase in life, bro. Whether it's at the start of your life, in the middle, all ages, bro. We all go through it, and I feel like I'm going through that right now. And it's just about putting your head down, bro, and pushing through the hard times, bro. And I look at it in a way, bro. There's 1,000 people doing it harder than I am. So it's being grateful and living in the moment. Because once I do get out of it, you look back at it, and, bro, I really did that, you know. Yeah. And you can show other people, like, man, if I can, you can for sure. So
yeah, because I feel like some people need. There's always gonna be someone who has it worse than you.
100.
You know, and that's the thing when you realize is like. No matter what, like, just understand that there's always someone else out there that has it worse than you. So understanding that fact and knowing that, like, me myself, like I have to adapt to the situation and be able to see what I have and what can I accomplish and where I can get from where I'm at now to the light of the tunnel.
That's it, bro. Like, and whenever I'm in dark times, bro, the best way to get out of it is be grateful. And I always go back to my father. I lost him at a young age, and I always, I've been through some suicidal times in my life, and I think of it as, my father would have appreciated this life if he had it, but he never got to choose to keep it. You know what I mean? So whenever I'm in those dark moments, bro, I just appreciate the life that I get, because some people don't get the life that I get, eh?
100%, bro. Appreciate your thoughts, brother. Speaking of dark times, we focus a lot on setbacks and failures in our life, and one of the questions that we always ask is what is a setback or failure that you have been most grateful for?
Probably right now, bro. Not that it's a failure, and I don't think it would be a setback, bro, but it's definitely a questionable time in my life, bro. I lost my job due to the COVID mandate, the vaccine mandate, being jobless for just under 2 months, bro. And you can't say it's a setback because of sort of the emotions you go through. But, bro, I always tell myself, like I said before, bro, there's always light at the tunnel, bro. And now I'm seeing across the news, like, I think in Taupō, bro, they've dropped their mandates. So it's just keeping the faith, bro. But
mandates have been crazy right now.
Yeah, bro. Hard up.
Ridiculous.
That's it. But I'm not anti-vax, bro. I'm more of the choice side. And it's not really a setback, bro. But you get those times where, like, shucks, did I make the right decision? Like, shucks, did I? But nah, bro. The main quote that really comes to mind, bro, is taking a risk is sometimes the payment for an opportunity. And I've been in the warehouse industry for quite a long now, and bro, I've been having back problems. I've been having back problems for how long? So, although I'm away from that work now, maybe it's a sign that
to move on.
That's it. Maybe it's a sign that was no longer for me, and that was my busy moment. And now it's time to push and run with this brandy and do better things.
I like it, bro. Love it, bro. Let's go. Bigger, better things are moving on.
All day, 100%.
One of the questions this is a new question that we wanted to ask on the podcast, and I think it'll be a good one. What do you think is New Zealand's greatest strength and greatest weakness?
Strength. I think strength, bro, would definitely be family. I think we're real big on family.
100, bro.
Everywhere you go, bro, even in the work environment. I was working, bro. I only worked 2 days. I was installing artificial grass, and my back gave up again. But just being in the environment, bro, the fella that took me on, he was from North Africa. I've never met someone from North Africa, bro. And just him being in New Zealand, bro, the vibe, like, I don't know him, but bro, he was family. Like, that's what I mean, bro. And he knew that I was family sort of vibe too. And he told me that he was never like this, bro. But ever since coming to New Zealand and meeting and feeding off other people's energy, it slowly becomes what he is.
What he is,
That's it, bro. It's family and what was the other one? Weakness. Bro, Izzy mentioned us a few years ago. It's tall poppy syndrome, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's a big struggle for us, And bro, I do it as well. But yeah, I think do you know the actual meaning of it? It's just like when, I don't know it, but I think it's when someone's up there a lot. When we never get to the top, a lot of us tend to pull them down.
It's like the crab theory. You know, like when you go fishing, and like we can say like a guy had a bucket full of crabs. You know, little crabs in the bucket was full.
Yeah.
The guy asked him, "Hey, why do you not cover it? Aren't you afraid that they're gonna leave?" I was like, no, I never. I was like, why is that? Well, when one tries to leave, the other one pulls them down back into the bottom. So that's why you can always leave it open. And then I feel like that's the thing, is like we see families or we see people doing good, and an automatic comes to mind is, I can do better than him, or why is he in that position and I'm not?
Yeah, that's it. That's mainly the one is why am I not there?
Exactly, bro.
That's it. Yeah, I think that, bro, and it's just, I think it's gonna be real hard to stop for some reason.
Bro, it's a big weakness, bro. It happens, and it's like it's huge.
Bro, 100.
It's everywhere, you know, especially in New Zealand. Like it's a pretty bad weakness that we have,
and like it's to a point where we don't even realize. Like it's just natural, bro. Like it's a sad one, and it's gonna be real hard to stop. That's actually a good question, bro.
Good one,
what about for you?
For me,
what was your strengths or weaknesses to it?
Biggest strength for me, I feel, is culture and love. Because I feel like we're so. One of the guys on the podcast before, shout out to Naz and the guy from Beowulf.
Yeah.
But he said, what was it? He said our superpower is that we live in South Auckland, and then when he talked about it, it's like the reason why we have superpowers, we live in South Auckland. We have so many cultures around us living to us, and we already automatically know about those cultures. So us, like, being able to be here in New Zealand, no matter where you're from, we're still family, but we're able to understand everyone's different cultures and accept them for who they are. That's
it, bro. No, that's actually a great, because you see it in a way. I don't want to really speak on it. It might sound racist, but I truly understand what you mean. I don't want to stop you from being number one in New Zealand podcast.
You can say whatever you want. Bro. And then I think for weakness, it's probably about being around tall poppy syndrome. But I think a big weakness that I do see in New Zealand is
Prime Minister. No, so I went there. I went there.
It's the mandates in the. Sorry, Prime Minister.
Don't want to get shut down, bro.
I think a really big one for us is entitlement.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a big weakness that we have in New Zealand, especially in South Auckland and other parts of New Zealand. Is like a lot of us, which is so really cool because, you know, that's a big reason why I believe that some people don't want to progress and move on and reach their goals. It's because of entitlement.
Yeah.
And then that's a big thing that I think that we struggle on is our entitlement that, oh, we should get this, we should get that.
Yeah.
You know, whatever happened to, you know, if we go back to our roots of our culture and who we are as people, even if you're from New Zealand, no matter what.
Yeah.
But nothing came good without work, you know.
That's it. Right.
And, you know, our people were all working in the farms, whatever it means. And there shouldn't be a sense of entitlement, I guess.
Yeah.
With our people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you work in an environment, let's say, for example, someone's been there for 10 years, hard grinding it out, and then you get someone that just comes in, got a piece of paper. You know what I mean? So, and then they puts sort of on the 10-year dude, like, man, all my work, where's that gone to? You know what I mean? But
yeah, bro, that situation, that's a hard situation, bro. Like,
yeah,
because for me, I would 100% go with the person that's worked 10 plus years for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who I think would want the piece of paper, but then again, it's like, you know.
And going back to what I said earlier, that's what I mean. Not everyone can do the paper,
100%.
and not everyone wants to do the paper.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's good to have that experience too. But yeah, when you do go through that experience, and someone does come in and takes over. Yeah, I truly understand what you mean, bro.
I like it, bro. Bro, moving on to one of the next questions. What is one piece of advice you could give yourself?
Myself? Bro, just never doubt myself, bro. Especially, bro, right now, man. The probably the lowest that I've been. Obviously it's matched a few other low moments, but it's just not doubting myself, bro, and doubting the decisions I've made. Like I said before, bro, there's always light at the end of the tunnels. Just gotta keep grinding away at it and poking at it. But yeah, just self-belief. Whatever you do, bro, just back yourself 100.
How much do we really lack self-belief in that?
100.
We lack so much self-belief here in New Zealand, bro. And it's hard because, like, you realize that us in New Zealand, and especially South Auckland, whatever we are in Auckland, like, or wherever around the world, we have potential, but the self-belief dictates where we go.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have talent, because we're known to have huge talent and capabilities, but we lack the self-belief and faith in ourselves.
That's it. And it all goes back to tough love, bro. And, you know, like, our parents are brought up in that place where it was tough love. And I guess for a lot of us, when they push it upon us, it's not really easy to take.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, or I don't know, for example, you fail assessment and bro, it feels like that it's end of the world for your parents, you know, and you know, you get those growlings and then you start questioning, is this really what I want to do? And it starts feeding yourself negative thoughts and that, So,
but do you think it's like, because I've been thinking about this a lot, it's like, is it because of the teachings towards failure in our community, like how we view failure? Because a lot of us view failure in a different way. Yeah. And I guess the biggest way we see is like, if we fail, that kind of hurts, you know, our vision, our goals, but more importantly, sometimes it hurts who we are. Yeah,
you're right on that, Us. And I think another one is how to deal with failure.
Yes,
because failure is good for you, man. Like,
100%.
Yeah, sometimes the longer road is the better road, and yeah, it's just we don't really get taught how to deal with it, bro. And that depends on how low of failure, but sometimes, bro, you're gonna need it in your life, and it toughens you up. But yeah, I think it's just knowing how to deal with failure, bro, because everyone wants to win. No one wants to lose.
There was a lot, bro, 100%. No one wants to lose, and there was a story that I heard on Instagram or TikTok, whatever it was. But there was this dad who taught their daughters to fail, to find one thing that you fail at school. And then, so they did this, and he said, I got this right, and then, I failed at this. Okay, cool. that's amazing.
Yeah.
You failed. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like, what else? Like, oh, you know. So then again, that mindset was driven into his kids. Bro, and then like it gets to a point where they deal with failure in such a different view that they become very successful in the future. You know, and that mindset of seeing failure as a way to go and a way to progress and improve. A lot of people don't really see that.
Yeah, bro. It just goes back to knowing how to deal with it. Bro, it's just changing it up, adapting to the situation. Bro,
Let's go.
You know, like bro. It's just the teachings, man. I guess everything that we've learned from, you know, our fathers and our fathers' fathers. You know, but like how we said before, bro, the world's changing. You know, social media, man. We got to change these sort of ways as well, bro.
100%, bro. Gotta celebrate our failures.
Yeah, 100, bro.
Celebrate it, man.
Post them up.
Post them up.
Yeah. And it's good in a way too, bro. Like how I tell the young boys, man, I show my flaws and failures so that they can see it as well, rather than thinking I'm the man in there, you know. So it's good, bro. Like, if I see an older also has failed in this way and he's showing me not to go, I'm avoiding that, bro. You know. So and it saves a lot of time too, bro.
Time and energy.
That's
man.
it. So if I can help the young also save, you know, 2 years,
bro.
Why not, man? That's it,
bro. That's mean. Moving on to our last question, bro. What does authentic mean to you?
Bro, this is the main question I listen into, bro. I always wait to the end, bro. What's everyone saying? Just in case, like one day I might come on here and I don't want to say the same thing. Bro. I've got two sort of definitions, but they sort of mix together, bro. But authentic, bro, is just being unique. Like we mentioned how many times, bro, social media, bro, it sends out a portrait and a lot of people sort of pick the icons and role models, but go the extra mile of, you know, going to the shoes part. And it's just being true to you, bro. With my brand, bro, one of the core values is accountability. And that's just being true to yourself. And like I said before, I went through a phase where I was buying TNs because TNs was popular. And bro, I used to miss out on lunch and dinner sometimes. So that goes back to saying, am I being actually true to myself? Because bro, when I'm hungry, I'm not eating those TNs, bro. You know? Yeah, and you gotta eat, bro. You know? So yeah, it's just being unique, bro, and being accountable. And in other words, bro, it's good to have a role model to look up to and be inspired by, but don't go the extra mile by, you know, trying to be.
100, bro.
That's it. But bro, I was listening to that, bro. And bro, I'll ever listen to all podcasts, but hopefully no one's checking that one. But if it is what it is.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, bro, Isaac, we appreciate you being with us today, bro.
Thank
Appreciate you on the podcast. Grateful for your brand and what you stand for, especially helping the young generation, bro. And guys, we're gonna make sure we put adapt to fitness, or adapt to situation, and also Isaac's information on the bottom of our videos. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
What day?
Yeah. And anything you want to say before we close off, bro?
Nah, bro, just thanks for letting me come on, bro. Like I told you before, bro, this was definitely one of my goals at the start of the year, was to feature on a podcast before I run my own. So, I appreciate it also. I love the work that you're doing with our community, bro. A lot of people don't sort of see the other side of the people that you're bringing on. For example, like Kings, bro. You know, so the sort of space to come in and share their stories, bro. It's amazing, bro. I love your work also, and definitely inspired also. So
appreciate
thanks for
letting me come on also. Brother. Grateful for you, man. Thanks for the love. We'll make sure we'll do some collaborations and get 100%. That podcast going, bro.
Let's go. Adapt to the situation.
Let's go. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Till next time. We'll see you guys later. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. Remember, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also YouTube. Check out for next latest videos on some content coming up soon. But we'll see you guys later. Let's go.
Peace.